Alright, looks like we're live. So, got severely screwed over by trying to do the strat, which every time I try to do the strat, it just does not work. And I realized I was just limiting how I was looking at price action and everything in market structure, and it was just limiting to me to looking at the last 2-3 bars on each of the charts. And I do believe that looking at the multiple time frames is very helpful, but to just base it on the past three candles on each is stupid. I wrote about this in my own notes, but can't be stopped doing that now. But an important point is my mate from the Discord server. When he said this, it didn't really click for me. It was he said trade the sim account as if it's your own money. And that didn't click for me because I thought I don't have $25,000. Um, then I realized, the hypothetical implications of what he was saying. Just like a few minutes ago, I realized, oh, I have to pretend that I actually did have 25,000, and now I've lost almost 3,000 of it. So this did change my actions a bit. I had a small profit happening on gold, and it went down a bit, so I took the profit instead of just holding and hoping. I thought, that's actually what I would have done if it was my own money. And it's also preparing me for the real thing that, when I am using my own money, I'm not going in feeling like the money is simulated funds. So, anyway, let's try and explain what's happening with these trades. So, MNQ, oh, bugger. I was looking at the 5-minute chart now, so this actually looks very different to what I'm used to. Okay, so this is what I was used to looking at. Yeah, I think we entered maybe about here or something. And, I have realized that I do have to learn how to trade ranges. Now, I am really not sure, and I'm being dead honest here. And I think it's a virtuous thing to be honest here, that I am not sure of the market direction here. And now that I realize that, I realize that I probably shouldn't be in the trade. Because if I'm wrong, then I've lost 55 bucks. I'm wrong, I've lost 55 bucks. So let's think that over a bit. And then what I can do is just take the loss, and it's about 20 bucks. And then I can make a better decision. Because right now, to be honest, I think I am holding and hoping. So let's cut that loss. Good thing. And what's gold looking like? Gold. I am expecting that it's kind of bouncing off support. Let me get rid of these drawings. I was looking at it the 1 minute before. And yeah, that's why I have this triangle drawn, because of that. So maybe I'll actually put that triangle back. It's a bit more like this. And I like triangles because they remind me that there's consolidation, and when there's consolidation, then there's more powerful moves. And that makes me think that I should treat that as a break to the downside. So I am expecting it to go up on the basis that it bounced a bit off support there. And this would set me up for losing $55 if that goes wrong. Now, why did I set my stop loss there? Oh, because it's at the 100 mark. That's just the default. So it was at 100 to 100. And here's the range I'm looking at. So I am trying to learn how to trade ranges. And the strat is not a range-based strategy. It does not account for uh, the horizontal ranges. It uses what's called broadening formations, which just always screw up on me. They say you can trade them like support and resistance, that when it hits the bottom of a broadening formation, and I can see one here actually. So here we can see that compared to, well, even this bar itself is a broadening formation because it has a higher high and a lower low. And it's kind of how they're supposed to work. And there's a theory behind it, and I'll get into that. Is so we can see that here we've got higher high, lower low, higher high, and from this low to this lower low, I would say that's the broadening formation, and theoretically it's supposed to do it like support and resistance, like that. Okay, looks like that did go through. Now I shouldn't short until I see a break of that resistance. Anyway, so yeah, it just never works for me. It's an interesting market phenomenon to observe for sure, because market structure does occur in those three patterns when it comes to highs and lows. If we're looking at any successive high and low happening, it's either a higher high, higher low, or the opposite way, lower high, lower low, so directional, or it's high high, lower low, it's broadening and expanding, or it's a lower high and higher low, it is consolidating, which, those things are definitely true and definitely show what price is doing at any given moment, and there's always an interplay of all those things. But just trying to trade off that, it just didn't really work out every time I try to do it. So, make a different decision here. And I'll try not to make a hasty decision. Try and actually think this through. So, what would I do? What should I do? First, let's move the range down. I think this is more realistic. Because we've touched the top of it 4 times here, touched the bottom twice here. Now I'll look at the higher time frames to discern whether I think price is going up or if it's going to break out. So, once again, for the entire day, we've had this inside bar. It's been inside of this inside bar. Given that we're seeing higher lows on the 4 hour, now it's not just higher lows, we've got to take other things into account as well, like that's a downtrend. These are all inside of this one's range. And is there a range? Now here we go, this is what I was doing yesterday, which I forsook today, is drawing rectangles. So how's this rectangle gonna work? What kind of range can I actually see? So it's hard to tell because it's not a perfect square or anything. But I can say that we've mostly been above this high, and the open of this candle is the low of that one. And this is all kind of within the range of this downswing. There is another triangle happening. Here, let's make that snap again. Like that. Now, the thing about triangles is they do expand. So now, I don't know if this is more objective if I'm doing this, or I'm just doing it because it's neat. I mean, there are higher lows there, but is that where the consolidation really is taking place? To me, it makes more sense to whatever I'm thinking. I think that this is the range. I think it's just because, like, all of this doesn't go here. Like, to me, it seems like this is like a very specific zone of price. But this seems a bit more directional as a reaction to this. Now, overall, I still think that everything is bullish. Ah. It's even though we had this great sell-off a couple of weeks ago, everything preceding it was bullish, and it looks like we're recovering. Like we're already past the halfway mark, I would say, of this entire sell-off. And halfway mark would probably be here. So we're seeing mostly bullish bias, currently bearish movement, consolidation, and I was wasting so much time talking about that. Look what I missed. So, did dip down there. Now, there's another point of support here. And I'll probably keep it just rough here, because it's like here and here. And we see what's happening here. And I have to think every time. Every time I have to think, if this is really my money, what would I do? I really have to pretend that yes, this is my money. I have to believe that. And what would I do is, to be honest, I would wait, because wait, maybe look for another opportunity on MNQ. What can I read from MNQ? So I can see that the red inside bar on the daily is getting pushed up. The 4-hour candle is only just under an hour old. It's previously pushed down in the last candle. And I do remember that. I actually do remember this candle going up and then down. So still bullish bias. Hourly, currently a failed 2, 3 minutes left to the hour. And I know that I'm not really doing the strat, but thinking of failed 2s does help. Just a quick way to say that it, failed one side and then went for the other. And this is actually a typical strat setup, actually. Other than the daily, other than the 4-hour, these two candles are actually an actionable signal for a buy. So I'm actually going to go through with that. And now that I look at it, my take profit stop loss is very wide. So then I have to think again, what would I do if it's my own money? See, that looks a bit more normal, 5 chart, 5 minutes. If it's my own money, I think I'd just leave it as that. And let's look at gold again. So try not to restrict myself just looking to the smaller time frame. Now, before, because I was on the 1 minute chart, that's why I plotted those as resistance. But I think it may be more accurate to say that when it comes to a consolidation range, it is actually here to here. Just how it works for my eyes could be wrong, and it's all just part of the process of adapting. And to go on a little bit of a spiel, as I usually do, it's like people don't know how to be adaptable these days. They do not understand that you have to try things and be wrong. And sometimes when you're wrong, you still learn it. One of the greatest lessons I ever learned was from spelling a word wrong in Japanese. So, I've already had 3 coffees today, but I feel like another one, just because all of this crappy trading that I was doing today was just so unfulfilling. It's a really good reminder to think, what if this is my own money? So first of all, if it was my own money, I wouldn't put the stop loss there because I would be fearful that I'm actually going to get stopped out, and I would rather risk $100 than risk a few and reduce the chances of getting more. It's a calculated risk. May not be the the best calculation. See how that plays out. So I'll write that in my notes. In fact, I'll put it in the live stream notes. Okay, let's look at gold now. We're seeing a touch of that support, which has been tested 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 6th time. Resistance, getting rid of that one. It's only been made there once. Tested another time there. Now I do want to see if I can trade this range. So I'm going to review higher time frames again. If there's more evidence that price is going to reject here, as it has many times, I'm You know, is that just a place where buyers like to buy? And to me, that seems logical. Like if it keeps on happening, if it keeps on going down there, then it seems to me that that is a logical place where uh, buyers want to buy. They've been buying and then they've been selling it up. So let's look at those bigger time frames again. It's Daisy. There we are. So in regards to horizontal range in the 4-hour chart, we aren't quite at the bottom, but we are pretty much at that one. Well, not even. No, we haven't touched that either. Now, the smaller time frames do not really show that even though there is a lower wick, that lower wick has actually been pushing up. Looks like it had been pushing up and now it's actually still pushing down some more. Maybe it's an exception. Once again, we've got, even though this is the turn of the new hour, so that 15-minute candle is synchronized with that one. Some upward sentiment just in that candle. There's downward sentiment as well. It's been pushed down, pushed up. Seeing big lower wicks. It is in a downtrend. Let's look here again. I think I would feel confident making that, actually. You know, what do I think? I think the reward is greater than the risk. That is truly what I think. I think that if I put myself in this situation, I do think it is more likely to continue going up, and not only is it more likely, it is more profitable. Look at M&Q. Now the 4 hours looking a lot better. So is the hourly on M&Q. Now, I had problems with the live stream before, it like cut out, and even NinjaTrader. I even had to restart my computer and my modem because the connection was being really dodgy. But yeah, the 4 hour here is looking a lot more healthy. Before it was a bit of a hideous sight. I'm getting a bit more confidence at trading inside bars now. They're not the greatest, but they are um, they are a market condition, and I think ideally I should be training myself to trade any kind of market condition. Oh, and now I look at gold on the other screen, my little position tracker that doesn't show up on the stream. Gold is profiting. Could just be a test. And once again, I'm pretending this is really my own money. I'm trying to believe that. And in that case, I have to think. Um, do I want to take my profits? A text message here. Freedom. And I didn't make that coffee I said I was thinking of. Now, question is, would I put the stop loss higher? I think I would. There we are. Gold's moving up. Now let's try compare these upswings from previous bounce of support. So, like, it looks somewhat strong. All of the downswings are also quite strong, especially from resistance there. And it makes me think, you know, do I want to start really entering and exiting my trades on a candle by candle basis? It's tough because then I've got to look at the context of the bigger candles, so maybe not. It would require a lot of attention to very fine detail. I'm trying to fix. Oh, I've got the wrong thing selected. There we go. Trying to get that streaming. And um, this I'll like make visible and invisible when required. So there we go. Yeah, the whole game has changed now that I tended to my money. Um, it has really changed. I really have to think of, would I risk this to get this? And it's extra tough thinking, I've already lost almost 3,000. Getting a new 15-minute candle soon. looking back, seeing how the upswings were pretty decisive, and this is a bit slow. Now, New York opens in 45 minutes. That's another thing to consider. How much of today's losses do I have to recover? 426. And honestly, it was all because I was, once again, very confident in the strat. It seems so good on paper, but it just never works for me. What's MNQ look like? Pretty cool. Once again, I'm not using this to base trades off as support and resistance. I'm doing it just to observe the market phenomenon of higher highs and lower lows. Just like anyone would observe higher highs and higher lows, you'd observe a trend. Doesn't mean that you're gonna trade that trend. It doesn't mean that you're gonna enter on the pullbacks. Doesn't mean that the trend is gonna continue trending that way. It's all in context. It's not what the market will do, is what is the market doing. And gold looks alright. And it's helping me to stick with my conviction. It's like I go in, I go because I entered this trade because I think, yes, I can risk this much and potentially make a lot more. I've gone in with that conviction, and then treating it like it's my own money makes me want to stick with that. When I see that there's confirmation that it's not going to my plan, then I either take the profit or take the loss. Now, I don't even know if I would call this zone a resistance, because in my eyes, that's not the range. In my eyes, that was it trying to get up to the high again, and that's not price going down to the bottom of the range and then trying to go up again. No, that's actually the move down. All of this is the move down. So I don't see that right now as, okay, that's the point of resistance where it tried to go up again. It's like, no, that's actually part of the down move. Ah! Let's see what MNQ is doing. And now that I think about it, let's look at that again. I don't know why I plotted, it was probably on the 1 minute that I plotted that. If I look at this in greater context, You know, it's not like we've really done much of. I mean, the bottom's been tested here a few times. And I only just had one point there. So yeah, it's like I would say that that is support, that is resistance, and we are trying to go back up again, given that there's so many bullish indicators. Gold just went up to $80 for a second. And those bullish candles, at the moment, they look more decisive than those other candles. Like this little red candle just doesn't look like the bears are very powerful in this potential swing up. And then when I look at the other time frames, we're in the second 15-minute candle of the hour. The 4-hour is actually turned green now. I think it was red before, if I'm not mistaken. And there's so many things, like you could easily say, like, well, look, we're getting lower highs and lower lows. We're in a swing of a downtrend. But given all of the other bullish conditions, and that we're at what seems to be support, leads me to believe that I'm doing the right thing. It's difficult. You can't always quantify this, you know. That's why there's so much discretion involved in retail trading. We're almost at the 100 mark, you know, and previously I had my thing for 100 to 100, but I realized that I can do better than that. And I'm really keen to see how price will react with this zone anyway, because as I said, how I don't think it's actually resistance. I want to see if it'll just like pass straight through it or something. And that could be a good lesson to learn, you know, if that's what price does, then maybe I have learned something new where I was previously plotting resistance actually wasn't resistance at all. And MNQ's going up as well. See what it does about that that trajectory. One could possibly draw the broadening formation like this. There's the higher high and the lower low. And that's right, I drew resistance all the way up there. Now let's see if I can recover this frickin' 426 that I've lost today from screwing around too much. I hope to see my performance improve tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the last day of the trading week. Then I can focus on my music. And one could consider that These are still a resistance. These two highs. And that even here, that one point, the wick of that, even that wick, and these ones, that could also be a resistance, a support. So something to consider. We'll see how it interacts. Gold's doing good, we're over the 100 mark. Swing is looking strong. It is a really nice swing. This, the take profit's at over 524. Now that would make me happy. That would recover all of today's losses. I gotta think, I've been doing this a lot. Been going for hours and hours each day. And now with this mindset of this is really my money, I think, well, now I'm even more driven to do this day in, day out, to recover that money, not as revenge trading. I think revenge trading is more uh, when um, when you lose, and especially if you enter straight away, whether it's in the same direction because you got stopped out early, or if it's in the opposite direction because you think price is going that way. That's what I think revenge trading is, where if you make losses, um, like I have, it's like, well, that's what you would do in a real life situation. Uh, if you lost money, you would maybe take some extra hours on at work and be more productive at work. If you're working for a commission or something, you'd make the extra effort. So that's where I see myself at the moment. Things are looking okay so far. It is a bit challenge to me psychologically, this seeing things through this lens, thinking, oh my gosh, I lost all of this because of recklessness. Um, but as I wrote in a previous note, that the disappointment is not there to make you despair. Ugh. Despair is useless. Despair does not get you anywhere. Keep on hoping and learn from your mistakes. When your hope is not fulfilled, um, things go against your expectations, something fails, you don't just go, oh, my hopes weren't fulfilled, now it's time to despair. Um, you remain hopeful that uh, you will do better in the future. Not that everything's gonna work out for you and you do nothing, but no, you change. You uh, you become a more effective person in whatever field it is. So all of those lost funds, I don't despair, go, this is not for me. I go, I mucked up, and um, now I'm gonna do something about it. I'm gonna change, whatever form that may take. Oh, we just got a new 15 candle. Might make my coffee now. We're going hard. Going for a fourth coffee of the day. Haven't done this in a while. Now I've got to think. I'm back with my coffee. You think if I, for some reason, had 25,000, which is now almost only 22,000, it begs the question, where did I get this money from? Um, did I work for it? Because to be honest, I have never saved. I've never earned that much money. Um, so it's like, did someone give it to me and now I'm being trusted with it? Now, I think that adds a new dimension. Uh, it's like, well, things are really on the line if somebody has trusted me with that. Because then it would possibly even be considered a loan, and that is scary. Uh, Thinking that this money is loaned. Because really, how else would I get that much money? Like, if I'm trying to be realistic here, if I'm really trying to believe that yes, the simulation money is my real money, uh, then I have to look at it through a lens of what seems like uh, how it would be really taking place. How I would really have this money. Here's another idea, actually. Let's say I made this money trading. Now that gives me some confidence. Now that I think that is a worthwhile um, way to look at it now. It gives me some confidence going, I do have what it takes. I wrote this in some notes before, is that it's not about learning um, good behavior. It's about unlearning bad behavior in almost any field. It's unlearning our preconceptions, our misconceptions, all of our biases that we come into when we're faced with a new field. So, when I think about that, it's like, well, my failures as a trader, that's not because I didn't have what it took to be a trader. It's because I had these things that work against it, and I'm working on eliminating those bad uh, beliefs and behaviors that contribute to poor trading performance. So from this lens, it's like, well, I do have the good trading habits and knowledge. I'm just undoing all that bad stuff. So thinking about, oh, okay, maybe I did make this 25,000 from trading. Well, that kind of confirms that, yes, I do have what it takes. That's what people say about fake it till you make it, you know. Now, I'm going to be watching this because I might take profits soon, depending how things go. I'm going to flick to MNQ, flick to MNQ. Yeah, we're still going to wait there. I think it might get to the top of the broadening formation, maybe even the top of that resistance. Let's look at gold. So I think I want to take profit soon. Might move the stop higher. Should I move it here? Let's see where all of these gets us. So that would get us 122. It's pretty decent. Okay, I think I like that. We'll lock it in at 122. Another 2 minutes left of that candle. And now that we're a bit safe here, we'll look at MNQ. Higher time frames. 15 shows. 15 just shows what the 5 minutes doing. Where was the price on gold before? Okay, so about here is the 160 mark. Okay. See what the new candle tells us when that time comes. It's peeking up a little bit. And maybe higher time frames. Once again, I'm liking that the 4-hour candle is looking a bit more healthy. I'm very curious to see if the daily candle will not just turn green, but break the previous high. It's a very measly candle compared to like everything. So maybe tomorrow will be a better trading day. Kind of bummed that tomorrow is the end of the trading week, but I guess I've done a lot of learning and practice. And new candle opens in 20 seconds now. Let us see what that looks like here. If I open up the hidden chart trader, then seeing like where everything is. So I wonder if we'll break this high, 5205, or even 5206. I'll look at that on the smaller chart. 5206 being, is it here? Yes, it is. I think we'll break 5206. 5207 here. Do I want to move my stop up? I think I do. What would I do if this is my own money? I think I would. York opens in 20 minutes, the next hourly candle. I ran out of rolling tobacco, so I'm back to filter cigarettes. Oh, and gold's almost at 200. Let's flick back there. I think here it's pretty much just a matter of moving the stops up. There could be a moment where I don't move. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it pans out. But I'm pretty glad that I've let it go to 200 this time, instead of just taking the 100. I'm going to draw a line, even though I don't want to see it as resistance. Just that line at 5207. Just like as a gauge. It'll be interesting if it does treat it like resistance, you know? Move the stop. That seems like a strong candle. Lock in 166, $166. MNQ looks better. The thing is saying 48 bucks, so it's good. What would I do if it's my own money? I'd move the stop loss only just here. It only locks it in at 3, which is like barely covering the commissions. To be honest, I actually preferred the rolling tobacco, even though these are good cigarettes. And I preferred them before I started smoking the rollies. I don't know, these are different. Oh, frickin' the connection's frozen again. This again. Just realized it says no data up there, which means the connection's frozen. I hate it when this happens. Just gets in the way of the streaming, you know? Oh, come on. Okay, oh, okay, we're back in now. Yes, great. We've got 5 seconds left of that candle. We're well over 200. Now should I move the stop to that candle high, or at least that one? Or at least one of these, so there. Just the same as that candle as well. I think I will. There we are. And that's locking in at 193. If I need to look for a re-entry, I can just find a re-entry. Q. Doing its thing. Gold. Alright. There we go. So now where's my account sitting? Negative 234. So open up the windows, all the charts, and wow, actually the freaking that 4 hour candle is looking great. Now I think I'm gonna get rid of this triangle. I'll keep the rectangle for now. 15 is showing just a little bit of pullback. We'll see where that takes us. And once again, very interesting that this pullback is kind of around those highs. Could be coincidental. While we're waiting for a better entry on gold, watch MNQ anyway. Once again, with my own money, I think I would start doing 2 contracts on MNQ. Now, where do I have that at a cheaper price? We've also got to think, is it just going to go down based on those highs? So think carefully, Matthew. Make wise decisions. And New York opens in just 11 minutes, just under. Gold usually makes some pretty freaking big moves at like 130. Now, has this point of resistance, has it been done before? You know, it actually kind of has. So I might actually be onto something. That this zone, so it actually, oh no, it didn't really reject and go all the way down there. I'll put the line here anyway, just I think it looks cleaner. Now here's the question, is this just a pullback? Looks pretty clean. I saw a broad information, but I was wrong. So this candle is it's not as strong as the last one. I was thinking it was a very clean move, but it looks to me looks like it was a rejection. Maybe not even just a rejection, but just a reaction to quite a swing up, and it is just a pullback. So I may consider re-entering. if I want to take my profits on MNQ, I don't really like it that much. Oh, I was thinking could move the stop to there. I think I'll take the profit. I'm going to get rid of this rectangle. So although I think it was a fair analysis, just seeing the rectangle, it's a bit too much to look at. It's kind of like obscuring my view. Another minute left on this candle. It's pretty weak, so maybe we will see price continue to go up. Seconds. Five, four, three, two, one. Let's see what this new candle is going to tell us. And let's look at MNQ while we wait for that. Still think it has upwards potential, which is very slow and choppy. So I think I'm going to go in with 2 contracts anyway. There we go. So going down a bit. It's much slower than than this swing up. It still leads me to believe that it's just a reaction. I think in these choppy markets, these choppy areas, those are times where I can take my profits a lot quicker if needed. But I don't need to worry about like this mess, you know? It's like, look at the price really is just like ranging in all of these little zones. Like if I draw them, um, it's like all of that happening in the same range. There's all of this happening in the same range, and it's just like waiting for it to go up and down and up and down. Um, Still a very hesitant candle. We've got another 2 minutes until the next hour and 15 candles. And oh, that's also when New York opens. So game on. I'm starting to think, this goes against how I'd usually do things, but I do think I'm just getting in at a cheap price if I do this. I'll probably move my stop loss up a bit. And I think that this broaden information thing is hokey. And yeah, this candle's already looking just like so much stronger than that. Oh, and I want to move the take profit higher. Still higher highs and higher lows, but boy is it ugly. Start to see the candles flickering between their different forms and shapes a lot more once New York is open. Sucks that it's midnight here. It's morning. Actually thinking, do I want to take the profits here? Because that doesn't look like how I want it to look. I don't want to take a loss. Funny now, thinking that this is a game of money management. What is MNQ doing? Not looking very nice. Just looking at the bigger charts. It's crap. What is gold doing? Bit better than I thought. Still pretty crap though. Now, if I look at the swings down, well, even this swing down was very slow and choppy. Because I think that because the bulls have been a lot stronger recently, that bear moves are going to be slow and choppy, even if they do end up being complete swings down. So you have to be careful, because even though this is slow and choppy, it does not. It could actually mean that yes, it actually is going down, um, and it is not just this slow pullback to continue up. Given that, as I was saying before, I thought that was part of like just the swing down. But maybe because it did go up and stop there, maybe it is a resistance point. So I'm probably going to get out soon. I'm going to move, because we see that the wicks are, instead of $22 loss, see that the lows at the moment are actually higher. So if they get lower, there we go. So I don't want that. So I think I will reverse position. It's a tough call, but I think I will. About here. Where are we in my profit and loss? 294. We have to recover. This is very tricky. An $87 loss if I get this wrong. But on the plus side, probably a better gain if I am wrong, because more bullish potential, I believe. And yeah, it looks like it's maybe a reactive move. Let's look at NMQ anyway, see if anything different has happened. And am I just going to get in a cheap price here? Or is it going down? I think I might stick with one contract again. Two contracts was too heavy. Big upper wick on that, good sign. Let's look at my coffee. Still not much indication. The chart is very messy. Let's look at the 1 minute. Probably even messier. Ah. I can see the pivots a bit clearer. See the wicks a lot clearer. Gold's doing good. I can see it's into $20 now. This move up looks cleaner once again. Forgot that we were at a broadening formation. And here's a realization, is here I'm thinking, would I go long or would I go short? And that's not what I would do with my money. So it's kind of looking okay now. Is it going to last? I want a big move. I don't want to get the small moves. I actually want to be confident that it's going in the direction that I want it to. Like gold seems to be right now. I think I'm going to stick with the 1 minute. It is actually a bit cleaner at the moment. Still looking a lot cleaner, these swings. I'm just trying to judge, like, how clean do the up and down swings typically look? And they usually last long. Like, is that gonna be it? I think the upswings are usually a lot clean. Like, look at this bar. Today's yeah, if I look at this one, this one, they're all like very much up there. Getting into some more money on gold. Looking good. Might even put the take profit about here. It's not really often that I actually am hitting the take profit. um, More just taking what I can get. Okay. Ooh, do I want to close? Very temperamental candle. I'm gonna have to watch it. Might move my stop here. Why didn't that work? There we go. So that's locked in 43 bucks. And then Q. Looks like a bear channel. And I don't like channels. liking them. Just they're too choppy. Okie dokie. So, a very strong candle. Is it just a... what is it? Is it an outlier? How are we going? Down to negative 252. I'm going to set a very tight stop on this, as I think that that is like a very decisive pivot, because just like gold, it looks like it does these really sharp pivots. That's at a $40 loss. Thank you. Looks like we might be going up to the upside. So I think I will get in. Oh my gosh, look at that huge freaking bracket. It's too big. Like I said, I do need to focus on the big moves. Now what I'm going to do actually is change there we go. Because before when I'm going 2 contracts it's going 100 either side, so if I'm going 2 contracts I want to see the same distance as it would to take 100 on 1 contract. It's essentially just, you know, making the brackets twice as long. Gold, what are you doing? Don't tell me that you're actually just a pullback of this swing down. I'm going to be very happy if you do that. Don't disappoint me. Do me good. Yeah, that looks... oh, it's looking okay for a second. Yeah. I feel good about this. I feel good about having the huge freaking thing, instead of being scared by very small movements. Having the confidence of, yes, a bigger move is happening, and that I can, you know what, I might even write that down. Gold is climbing up. remove our take profit back to an ambitious place. And this is part of how I'm putting a lot of hope into this. Hope conditions the heart. The Discord buddies aren't. I don't. Don't they care about trading? Are they sick of me? It's often sharp pivots. This one sharp pivots. Considering it, might step to the middle of that candle, locking in at $20. I think there's another reason why I'm going to start doing two cons, because if I'm just taking like, do this. Go back online. If it's one of those sharp pivots or not. New candle happening in just a few seconds. I think we're at a sharp pivot, so once again I'm going to set a very tight. Well, that didn't work out the way I wanted to. When I put in two cons there, put the risk reward at 400, not 200. That was weird. Oh, here it says order quantity 2. That's weird. Why did it do that? Don't do that to me. No, that's weird. That's kind of what it was supposed to do. Stand corrected. goes wrong about here. So $26 loss. Much happier with that. Oh, that's a bit daisy. Trying to get it out of the bottom of that candle. There we are, $28 loss. Ah! Okay, stop that. Ooh. Okay, it wasn't that close. Still. Oi, there we go. Okay, let's look at MNQ. I'm just expecting a big move. And I'm gonna add another contract. There we go. And I'm gonna place my stop loss up here. And I think I'll... Where would this get me? Okay, that's not a good risk-reward ratio. Of anything previous. There's a lot of movement. Have any pivots to... Yeah. So that kind of works out the same. Still looks like we're going up here. I'm going to set a wider stop on it this time. Maybe about here to here. And 2 cons was a lot. We should stick with 1 con for gold. Leave the 2 cons for MNQ. Looking good, MNQ. Looking good. Possibly go even higher. Go to the trajectory of the broadening formation. $168 reward. It's looking a lot more confident now. Everything says go on the higher time frames. Even the daily candle, maybe it'll actually go green. Okay, now things are getting choppy on gold. Liked it better when it was nice and angular, like Tron. But I think another difficulty is how am I gonna always go for big moves when the market is choppy as hell? I have to write that in the notes. It's very fitting that just when I decide to go two cons on gold, that it just freaking sits in the middle. We have significantly lower highs and higher lows here. Definitely consolidation. And that's like right in the middle of the range that I drew too. I think this is a break to the downside. And that makes me think like, should I get out? I'm gonna move the stop loss to the bottom of that candle. That is a $40 loss. There we go. Okay, so big moves. We're waiting for big moves. Now, I cut that short um, because I went in with two contracts on gold. I didn't want to lose too bad. So, I'm going to go for big moves. In fact, that means that maybe if I go with one contract, then go not just for 100 either side, but like 200 either side. That way it's got more room to breathe. It's bigger risk, but bigger reward. And it won't choke the trades as much. So it's 12:30, which is usually when some kind of news hits, which is, I suspect is why that candle's so freaking big. And given that we're just right in the middle of the range and there was that consolidation, I'm not too certain what to do. My heart tells me go long. And if I'm going for the big moves, then it makes more sense to go long. So reset here, cons. There we go. That's very a lot bigger. There is more risk, but there is more reward, and it's a bigger move. So I think I'm actually happy with this, even if uh, even if I end up losing, it's actually something to learn from. Could have been a bit more patient. I got to remember this is money we're talking about here. Possibly even go 3 cons on MNQ. Might even add another contract because it's doing so well. There's a potential point of resistance. Got to keep that in mind. So let's not be too hasty. We're just getting there now, so we want to see what happens. And the 4-hourly candle on MNQ looks freaking great. Let's just flick here. This is just what I've wanted to see for quite a while. I think it's broken the high. Yeah, it has broken that high. Let's see if it breaks that red high. See where it goes. I was seeing a little bit of a profit on gold before. It's really just, oh my gosh, these, just a whole set of dojis at the moment. Going for the big moves. Still got to see the price interaction with this resistance. I might just take the profits, honestly, because why risk it? I think that I should do that any time at resistance, really. Um, add a note to that. Great. How's gold looking? I bet you it's just still chopping around. Yep. So while that's playing its little game, we'll just focus on MNQ. If I see my little window that gold's price is moving drastically, then I'll have another look at it. MNQ, we're just gonna see how it interacts with resistance. Still getting no views on my live streams. I'm doing this every day. Come on! Did I finish my coffee? Almost. Ah. Oy. How are we going with minus 278? Did I take a loss? I'm not even paying attention. I'll say that I usually make more profits during New York session, but I really got to learn to do this during the day. So I'm not up all night. I would not even be surprised if I'm actually like continuing to trade like well into 3 in the morning tonight, because I've had 4 coffees, I've had an extra bit of my ADHD medication, and I'm just freaking determined. And seeing so much learning and improvement. Um, so try not to burn out. I'm very focused on this. And gold is moving up a fair bit. I might move the stop just a bit closer to the edge of support, and is this going to upset the ratio? Yeah, that's an upset ratio there. We want that a bit further to, a bit closer to resistance. Yeah, pretty glad I didn't hold on here. It's just like more trouble than what it's worth. It's at resistance. I mean, that's just a fact, you know? That there's a pivot here, and price was going up, and now it's hesitating. So holding on at that is it's really just not worth it. Just take the profit. Even if it does go straight through it, you don't know. It could go straight through and then go back. Like, points of support and resistance are really freaking notable. Here's an interesting thing about the price on MNQ is just like how slim the body is on the daily doji. And given that it's at that resistance, it's like, well, if it breaks that resistance, that's when it's going to start possibly going green. That could be just like the first, little break it needs to actually go green and maybe beat the previous day's high. And I might, just like set an order. Oh no, I won't do that. I was thinking of setting like a stop market order up here for like when it does break through. But maybe I might do that on a higher time frame. Still don't really like the idea of that much. Unless maybe I do it on the, not on the 15, but on the hour, 4 hour, or daily. I think the hour or 4 hour is the best. Let's consider this. So, we've already broken that high. Now that would be a point of resistance if I got it to that candle. So maybe like on the way there. So maybe up here. Let's just try it. Just going with my intuition here. I'll need to open chart trader. And then my stop market. There we go. Let's see what that looks like on the smaller charts. Oh, it's only just up here. Not bad. What is gold doing? Not working in my favor is what gold is doing. Looks like it's more prone to go down. And that probably should be a time where I take the loss, actually. Not because price has gone down, but because of what the market is doing, how it looks. It's not just because I'm at negative 38, it's because everything else looks like it's not what I want it to look like. And at the moment, I wouldn't even go short. I still think it's far too choppy. There's a part of me that goes, oh, you go short and make some money, but I just don't think that's realistic. Now, how am I going? So we're back at negative 322. At least we're not, at freaking negative 400 something that I was before. Now, all the higher time frames are saying that we are pretty freaking bearish at the moment. So I would actually wait to see what's going to happen when we touch support again. So I'm going to make a little note here. Look back at MNQ. Why did I close MNQ? Oh, that's right, because it got to resistance. Everything else leads me to believe that resistance will be broken. So I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to go two cons. Yep, two cons. Am I on the right screen? Yeah. I'm just going to wait for that big move. Looks like it really wants to do it. That is it's very classic, very typical behavior, when you see just from what I've observed. It's like when something reaches resistance and it's like, oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? Okay, let's try again. It's like, it's like the soldiers going in with a battering ram. Let's close that order because we've already gone in. It's like they hit the Citadel's door with their battering ram. They're like, ugh, ugh, and like they get worn out. They're like, okay, on the count of three, heave ho, and then they try again, and whether they get through or not, or whether the enemy rushes out of the citadel and chases them out. Those are all possibilities. So yeah, I do kind of see that movement as like just something that would typically happen there. And what I can do is, if things are still getting choppy, just take the damn profit. Because things get choppy around resistance. So we're profiting quite well now. We'll just see how it goes. Now, where is that take profit? It looks like it's in a bit of a place that is just not actually significant. No pivot points. There is a freaking gap there. What is that gap going to do if price gets up? What is going to happen? Anyway, place that there. Yeah, we're going for almost 400 bucks. Where are we? Or maybe I could just click this button. There we go. And while we're waiting for that, I might place the stop just at that resistance line, lock in 40 bucks just in case. Very deceptive. Stay on these pivot points sometimes. And see what happens there anyway. Let's just observe, like, what if that is a zone? You can see it more a touch there. Deceptive. I'm gonna get rid of this stupid broadening formation line. I'm so sick of them. What do they even do? Move this to the bottom of that candle. Lock in 56 bucks. Sometimes I think, rather than just putting the stop up, what if I just took the profits instead? I'm going to write that down in my notes. That is something for me to consider. Um, Looks like it might be a bit of a bounce off this uh, shorter um, point of support. Doesn't look too clear. Okay, I'm buying in one con. And I'm going to place it a bit here. See how we're treating that resistance line. Oh, looks like a bit of a strong rejection here. Overall, all of the other higher time frames are spelling out an overall bullish. So am I just going to get in at a cheaper price here? Or wait for more decision? Yeah, I've never actually zoomed, like, wanted to place a trade on such a zoomed out 1 minute chart. Like I said, because I'm looking for the big moves. I think the 1 minute chart, what it offers me is, rather than actually just looking at the candles, but you see a lot more pivots when you look here. So seeing like how the trend is taking place, you really get a lot clearer of idea of where the highs and lows and where all the sub highs and lows within that are. Like, that's a pretty freaking clean trend here to here. It's like a climax here. But even still, it's like, that's a higher low than there and a higher high there. Uh, One could even say that that is actually not even that significant. That's just like a swing of the downtrend. So I I would say go long. I'm just gonna friggin' do it. See where we get. There's two cons. And now that I'm zoomed out, that actually looks a lot more narrow. It's like, do I want to go for a bigger move? I mean, I know that I want to place this here. And yeah, I got rid of that resistance line. So I just felt like it was not very significant when I zoom out. That doesn't even look like resistance anymore. That just looks like uh, a pivot high. In those really slow markets, I really should be using more cons. So I'm learning so much here. I think when I look at like the greater structure like this, it's like here I can be more confident about where I want to enter a trade in regards to seeing the whole market context. But once I'm in, then I want to pay more attention to individual candle behavior. So I'll take a note of that. Gold's not doing too good. I'm gonna have to check up on gold. Oh no, that's not gold. That's MNQ. My bad. That's okay. We're waiting for the big moves, and you know the evidence is there that we've got a resistance all the way up here. We've got support all the way down here, a little bit here as well, and mostly uptrending. You know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that is a point of resistance up here. uh, but still, it's like we've got that resistance all the way up there, and that's where I'm going to set my hopes. And what's gold doing? Chopping around. Let's zoom out on gold. You know, maybe that's something that it's actually in quite a downtrend. I've been looking at these really small areas, you know. So if anything, that's probably a downtrend, and um, I should actually be in short at the peak of that pullback. See how we go anyway. I might even set the stop just a lot tighter, just in case things turn pear-shaped. That's putting gold at a loss of only $13. With gold, I think I have to be a little bit more attentive to the individual candle behavior. But once again, it's like, even just looking here, it's like, that is clearly a freaking downtrend. Support and resistance, I think I need to look at greater areas of support and resistance, not these really tiny things. How's our P&L looking? 274. Have I been taking more losses? Oh, it's probably the commissions. Okay, it's very slow and choppy here. I really shouldn't be in. Okay, now that is what I would consider the pullback, where I'm going to sell instead. Now that does seem like a significant point of support. What's it, daisy? So I'm still at least going to see what happens at that support. See if we go back up. MMQ is not doing so great, so we're going to have a look at it. It's not doing too bad. Got to remember to look at the higher time frames as well. Information from a different perspective. We just entered a new hourly candle, actually. I think the 4 hours actually gone down a bit. Strangely. Looks like our gold short's doing okay at 30 now. Wait, I don't like that. Gold is so unpredictable. And that was kind of that level of support that I marked earlier. It's so difficult to know to go long or short on gold sometimes. I'm gonna close. I think that may be a key support, so I actually do want to go long here. With the stop loss just here. And then Q's starting to recover. I wonder if I should just like stop trading gold. I really probably should. No, dude, take the loss. Stop trading gold. I'm gonna write that in my notes. now I don't have to flick between charts too. Stick to one set of charts. Much easier. That's my P&L. Okay, it's still not back at the uh, negative 400 something that I was earlier, so at least there's some improvement. There's that urge to just go flick to the gold charts now, but no, I gotta be done with that. I gotta be done with that just like being done with the strat. It's not worth it. And the guys said it's not good to trade gold now, they were right. It's freaking gambling. You win freaking big. The win seems so easy, but you just keep on freaking losing. It is so freaking unpredictable. Screw it. I'm really freaking sick of it. What I might do though is trade to freaking MES. Or even ES. Let's see what ES is like. I'm just gonna like risk it. You know, I should be pretending this is my actual money. But let me see how it goes anyway. See like what 100 to 100 on a single contract is if I sell it. Okay, that is very thin. It's very thin. Uh, this is my own money. Should be getting out. Press the stop there. There. Lost 25 bucks. So do not trade ES. MES is another story. MES looks pretty freaking blocky and ugly. Am I just placing trades because I want to? Because I'm like trying to um, do something else instead of placing trades on gold. Now, the moves are even bigger on MES. You have to wait for really big moves on MES. So, if I place like two cons, it's gonna look really freaking wide. It's gonna look like this. Like, oh my god, those are freaking ages away. Oh, now I realize why it stuffed up the counting. It's because I had it by ticks, not by price. But oh well. Now I can just like chill and wait. If I'm waiting for such big... Oh, here I get clicking on gold again. Gotta take gold off my freaking... I don't know how to get rid of... Oh, here we go. Unpin. But still, ES was unpinned and it still hasn't disappeared. Probably through with this soon. It's been too much losing. Yeah, hopefully we're done with this soon, so then I can just go go to bed, work on some music. Go to the toilet, actually. We'll pass some time. My oh my oh my. My oh my. Oh, we're in big negative town now. This is my money that I am dealing with. I'm actually comfortable seeing a negative 100 there. Should I just add more cons to MES? Because, it's very big. Where does that even look? Let me have a look at the, bigger charts. Where would that actually be? Let's look at it on the 4 hour. That's pretty decent actually. I was actually thinking earlier of a trade that looks like that because like that's a really good. It looks really good on the 4 hour chart. I was thinking this on MES because they're similar. Like, what if I could get it there? So if I just like move this up, yeah, to about there, and to about here, and then just like go to sleep. And I might do that with MNQ as well. I mean, it's almost the exact same freaking thing. I wonder what it looks like um, on the daily though. Yeah, that's like pretty clean. It's just like the bottom of that there. Just clean it up a little bit. There we go. I'm I'm a bit more pleased with that. And you know that big lower wick. It's been a lower wick for a very long time. It does give me hope that yes, it is going up. And if I can do this on MNQ, and it works, well then I'm gonna um, recover a lot. So that's a oh gosh, the risk is actually greater than the reward on MES. So I'm gonna have to Open this again. Move it back to where I had it, just here. And that is $5 difference between the risk and reward. Now let's do the same thing for MNQ. Just go to bed. Let's go to freaking bed. So, what do we have here? We're actually, it's kind of similar. Like, yeah, we actually did put it there. Let's just move that a bit off. Stop loss on MQ, I've got it at 200. It's a bit tight. But, tell you what, it's like, this is my money. That's the name of the game. Set it like that. Yeah, the entry was all the way up there. Seeing downward pressure, there's the wicks there, but if I lose, I just bear the loss. It's my freaking money. You know, this will teach me something about the larger moves. I have to be able to read it and to see all that. I don't just have to see the smaller movements in context of the large. I need to see the large in the context of the small. I've been reading all the small charts all freaking day long. But how does that all add up into this? So I need to see it all together. I've been reading from like a top-down method. I need to look from the bottom up as well. They're all a part of each other. So I might end the stream